Hey folks, how are you doing? I feel I don't ask that enough. You know what? Let me know. Leave a comment down below with how you're doing. I hope you're well, and if not, I hope that this video helps to lift you up a little bit. Speaking of which, today's video: dragons, The Legend of Zelda, specifically Breath of the Wild. The three majestic creatures seen in the series' latest story are magnificent creatures, elegant, beautiful, and my favourite thing, mysterious. Link is one of the lucky few who can even see these stunning serpents flying through the sky. There are a lot of different things to discuss when it comes to these creatures, such as their origins. A fellow creator by the name of Nintendo Black Crisis even did a video going over this, their relation to the dragons in Skyward Sword, and other hierarchy creatures, spirits, and all that fun stuff. I highly recommend checking out if you're interested in that. Today, however, I am asking the question of, where do they go? You know, if you've ever followed these dragons in the game whilst they fly around Hyrule, you will have noticed that they sometimes do this thing, this mysterious thing where they'll fly high into the sky and vanish via a portal. What? Where on earth does this portal lead to? My first suggestion would be to go and check the Creating a Champion book, but that doesn't tell us, nor does anybody in the game. So, we gotta get thinking, get the creative juices flowing. Get comfy folks, because we're going to go where no person has ever gone before. The unexplored contents of what lies beyond the Dragon Portal in Breath of the Wild. Okay, I may have hyped that up a little, we're not actually going in, we're just talking about it. Be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or drink and send them in to get featured right here. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, it really helps the channel out, and let's get into this one. To display the full picture, let's briefly examine the dragons and their natural habitat. There are three dragons: Naydra, Farosh, and Dinral. Ice, electricity, and fire. They can all be found in various locations of Hyrule throughout the day and night at different times. Naydra must be freed of malice first, which is a really fun little quest by the way, but other than that, you can locate these creatures fairly easily. Naydra can be found all around the Lanayru region. Farosh can be found at Lake Hylia, within the Faron Woods, and the Gerudo Highlands, and Dinral can be found not far from Death Mountain, and also all along the Tanagar Canyon. They can be seen emerging from the heavens in their respective regions. Farosh can also additionally be seen emerging from the waters of Lake Hylia and the Floria River. However, it's in the way that which they can sometimes be seen departing our sights that is interesting. And I say sometimes because Farosh also goes into the water, and sometimes they just despawn. But if you're lucky enough to actually catch them going into the portal, you'll know what I mean. If you can follow them up to the sky or just watch closely, this large portal will appear and the dragons go through it to disappear. So, where does this portal lead to? There are a few potential answers that I'd like to explore. Let's get into them. The first answer I've often heard regarding this question is that these dragons are in fact the same ones from Skyward Sword, and that they are essentially dropping into Hyrule and then leaving. If you aren't aware, Skyward Sword, the first game in the Zelda timeline, had three dragon gods that are a crucial part of the game. They all protect one of the three sacred flames that Link must acquire in order to build the Master Sword. But there are a few issues with this answer to the question. One, it still doesn't answer the question of where the portal leads to. And secondly, the likelihood of these dragons in Breath of the Wild being one of the same as the past dragons is very unlikely. That's why I mentioned that NPC video in the intro. He goes into this exact thing, and it's good information to know and consider. To put it briefly, they have more inconsistencies than consistencies when it comes to similarities. For one, the elements that each dragon is based on don't match up exactly. Okay, so in Skyward Sword, Faron is the water dragon. In Breath of the Wild, the closest to water is Naydra, which is ice, and based in the Lanayru region. Lanayru, the dragon in Skyward Sword, is thunder. The only one you could really match piece for piece with is Eldin in Skyward Sword and Dinral in Breath of the Wild. But all 3 for 3, it just doesn't work. It also doesn't really work for the reasons of Skyward Sword's story, but if you want to know more about that, then please do check out the previously mentioned video, linked below. Basically, they aren't the Skyward Sword dragons checking in from some sort of portal. No. And I'm gonna be real with you guys, I don't know the answer. I'm trying to provide possible answers, but I don't know the answer. So the next thing I'd look to is this being some sort of dragon realm, or more of just a realm for godlike beings over the years. Perhaps a sacred realm. Obviously I have no proof of this, it's just an idea, but one idea that I do actually have a tiny bit of proof, or more so a place to go off of, is that these portals could lead to a place that we've already seen, a place in the time frame of this game. Well, actually, its sequel. In the second trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, we see a new, mysterious setting, a sky filled with islands and unseen technology, a place never before seen to the hero, but it's not too far from home. In fact, looking down below these islands in one particular shot, we can see Hyrule as seen in Breath of the Wild. Well, sort of. It looks a little bit different, and this has led many fans to believe that it's possibly another version of Hyrule and or a past Hyrule. It's definitely not the same one, that's for sure. Regardless of what type of Hyrule it may be, it's connected in one way or another. Now, what I'd like to suggest is that perhaps where these dragons go is wherever or whenever these islands are present in the sky. I mean, we clearly can't see them in Breath of the Wild, and some are low enough to be in sight. I highly doubt that these islands just suddenly appear in the sequel out of thin air. I think that they are present in either another time frame or version of this land, and that is exactly where these dragon portals are leading to. And hey, who knows, maybe in the sequel we'll find out if this was all to be true. Maybe it's just me, but these islands look very sacred, ancient, and just a good fit for creatures of their stature. And you know what would make this make sense? Yet another thing that the first game has set up as a mystery and could have answered in the sequel. That's the idea that I like and would support the most, but there are of course others. For example, I've heard the idea of this just leading to another part of the world Hyrule is on, somewhere unseen beyond the reaches of the game. I've heard suggestions that it takes them to their own little dragon realm, a place for these sacred creatures to live and rest when not looking over their lands. The point is, we don't know, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I don't know. I purposely didn't title this video with the Zelda theory tag title, as it's not a theory. This is just me trying to suggest what it could be, and I didn't want it to be misleading. I just wanted to suggest what I think and also get to know what you guys think. Sorry it's a bit of a shorter one, but it's something that's been on my mind for a while, and I just wanted to get it out there. We're also in a content drought because of the sequel. So to officially address the title of trying to answer the mystery at hand, my answer would be that I think this portal leads to what we see in Breath of the Wild 2. And now that you know what I think, what do you think? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Get into the comment section down below and write down where you think these portals lead to. I really look forward to reading and replying. Thanks a ton for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. If you haven't already, be sure to hop in our Discord server through the link below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram to keep up to date, and as always, a huge special thank you goes out to all of my supporters across Patreon and YouTube. If you'd like to join them and get yourself a shout out upon joining and your name at the end of every video, then consider supporting. Again, thanks for watching, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.